Hey, teacher friends. If you have been following me for a while, you already know that I'm a big believer in knowing the why behind a student's misbehavior, because I believe that if you know the why, then it will help you to apply effective classroom management strategies. So in today's video, I am sharing 6 whys or functions on why students tend to misbehave. Coming up next. Hey, teacher friends, Michelle here, and I am a behavior strategist. I help teachers, schools, districts, and youth organizations with systems and strategies to help them manage their students and their learning environments with less stress and less struggle. And in today's video, I am sharing the 6 whys or functions why students tend to misbehave. Now, the reason why I'm a big believer in this is because I learned that when I start to look at the why behind or the why beneath their behavior, and actually work on strategies that feed that need, that feed that why, then the behaviors begin to significantly reduce or disappear because it wasn't needed anymore. Also, when you see behavior as a communication, and then you're looking at why they are communicating the way that they're communicating, this will also help you to develop strategies that will reduce the behaviors quickly. So whenever I'm teaching and coaching educators, I use this acronym SHAPES. SHAPES, shapes. And each letter stands for a function of behavior. So let's start with the first letter S. S stands for skill set. So oftentimes they miss the skill set that will help them to cope or deal with the academic, behavioral, or social situation they may be facing during that moment. So when you start to observe behaviors in your classroom, ask yourself what skill they may be missing that you can provide or someone else can provide for them in that situation. H stands for habit. For a lot of our misbehaving students, they have been engaging in this behavior for a while. It has become ingrained as their go-to response to the situation. So start to think about this. Habits are challenging to break. But if you know it's a habit, understand that habits can be replaced with other behaviors. So that would be the key in changing the behavior, is helping the student to replace the habit. A stands for attention. So there are students who will misbehave for attention, whether it's good attention or bad attention. And if attention is what they're seeking, think of some ways that the student can get attention for appropriate behavior and leverage that. P stands for power and control. When students are willing to misbehave because they want their own way, they want to do things the way they want to do it, regardless of the rule or regardless of the person in authority giving them the direction, you're looking at possibly a function of power and control. They're trying to gain control of the situation. So start to say to yourself, what are some other ways that my students can get power and control, i.e. being a leader, i.e. having a responsibility in my classroom, and see if that will reduce the need to use the misbehaviors to get that power and control need. E stands for escape or avoidance. Start to look at what is the student able to escape or avoid with that specific behavior. Once you know that, then it can lead you back to a skill set situation, a habit situation, or a perception that the student may have that this is too hard, or they've had a bad experience, or they're just not willing to try. All of those things come in place when we're talking about escape or avoidance behaviors. And S stands for sensory. There are some students who demonstrate challenging behaviors because their sensory needs are not being met. And I'm not just talking about children with autism, even though often they are included in this function, but really maybe it's about the seating, the lighting, the noise level, the ability to touch something, move a certain way, stand. All of those things come into play when it comes to sensory. The key is to be aware and see, okay, are there some things that I can do in the classroom or help the student so that they don't have to use misbehaviors to get those needs met? So there you have it, 6 functions on why your students may be misbehaving under the acronym of SHAPES, SHAPES. Feel free to use this as you are navigating why your students may be misbehaving, and then also use it as a tool to look for strategies that will feed or meet that need. If you want more information or strategies on how you can Implement the shapes in your classroom or your school. Check out my resources in the description, and I will see you next time.